Just say anything so I can make sure that the volume is
Uh,
good.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
All right, perfect. So, hi everyone, and hello, Mr. Owo Jones. My name is Holden Stephan Roy, and welcome to Bridge the Gap. This is the show where we talk to very interesting people such as yourself, and we effectively walk through your life and we extract the different knowledge nuggets that we can extract based upon the experiences that you have had. And in my efforts to evolve the show, um, my new first question is, why don't you just introduce yourself right quick and let us know a little bit where you're from, like born, and just a little bit what you do.
First of all, thanks for having me here. I really appreciate that. My name is Owo Jones, Owo Jones, and I'm originally from Nigeria, and been in Montreal for almost 20 years.
Yo,
Yeah.
that is. You don't even worry. So yeah, what do you do real quick? But let's leave it there for the where you're from part. That's a great start. So it makes me even more excited for the next question. But what do you do real quick so that people know?
Okay, so I'm a spoken word artist, and I'm transitioning into pop.
Nice. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now we have a little bit of context for the people that have never heard of you, which is fair enough. And now we're gonna get to know who Owo Jones is. And I do have a bit of a token first question that I like to ask everybody. It's a little bit
Go
like of
ahead.
a story, and when it lands, you can feel free how to answer it however you want, and then we'll go through it. Don't worry, it's gonna be wonderful. So it all
Okay.
starts off with my girlfriend, and she's washing the dishes, and she's got her phone playing this music song, this one song. It's the Black Eyed Peas track, the I got a feeling, ooh, and she's like vibing, she's dancing, she's having a good time, she's washing the dishes, and I'm like thinking about it, and I'm like, yo, that's crazy. This is like 2020, and she's bopping out to this track. And if I think about it, 10 years before that, we were all in the clubs, real drunk, dancing, in a whole different vibe, a whole different mind state to the same very song. And that got me realizing, yo, music like changes over time. So it's like it has a vibe in like 2010, and by 2020, the whole vibe of the track has evolved and become something different with this whole new purpose within the society around it. And with that,
Oh,
it got me really thinking about music. Like, yo, Autumn Cardi B's and things like that. That's the music that people are going to do chores to 10 years from now. And now it's just like a
yeah.
crazy thought for me. But then it got me thinking a bit about our own musical journeys. And how when we start talking about this stuff, we often start at adolescence, when we get our own identity, when we start caring about things. And that's not really the beginning of the journey at all. That's actually just, adolescent phase. It's a phase in the journey. Really, this stuff starts at the inception point, like as early as we can remember. Like in my case, I can remember being like 4 or 5 years old, and my dad has all these like gray boxes, the amps and the radios and the tape decks and the this. They're all like linked together and plugged into these speakers, and he would play these like Led Zeppelin tapes a lot and different things like that. At nighttime, it was the radio with the MC Marios and the EDMs and the shit like that. And then at Christmas time, as an example, there was this one tape that was Christmas EDM techno remix things for the classic Christmas songs. It was bad, but it was just always there at Christmas. And then like my mom's had, I just remember disco tapes and musicals. I don't remember a lot else from her end of it. It is what it is. So I was wondering if you could bring us back to the earliest that you can remember as a little Owo Jones and a little bit of the soundscape of what it's like. But on top of that, you're in Nigeria, which is just like a whole brand new one for us. What's it like? Like, what does it sound like to be like super young in Nigeria?
To be honest with you, I was like to like probably age of like 5 years old. Then after that, I went to Venezuela. But for what I can remember, there was a lot of connecting with everybody. Like all the neighbors knew me. I knew the neighbors. It was very hot, obviously. Um, yeah, obviously some parts of poverty, but I didn't grow up in the poverty, so I got to see the greater part of Nigeria.
So, yo, what kind of music is lit in Nigeria? Do you remember any of it from when you were like 5? Like, like the vibes of it?
I remember my dad used to listen a lot to Chino Peters, Fela Kuti, which is those are big time legends. Um,
What kind of
but
music is that?
but then, pardon me?
What kind of music is that?
It's a Yoruba music, Afro, the initial Afro beat. Like
Okay.
Fela Kuti is known to be Mr. Afro beat.
Okay, so basically you're starting off with those kinds of sounds at the very, very beginning of your life. And then,
Yeah, and yeah, in Nigeria, obviously. But
yo,
at that time, I was not really into music per se. You know, I was just more into like sports, soccer, like what we call football over there.
mm, yo, that's honestly, I'm super fascinated by that. Just the idea that like you were in Nigeria, like to me, that's cool. That's like actually seeing other cultures. And then you went to Venezuela when you were 5. So now you've already hopped to
Yeah,
another continent and already done more
to
traveling than like a
Caracas.
whole bunch of people.
Yeah. So went to Caracas, lived there for like probably like 4 years. And then from there, came to Montreal.
So what's it like in Caracas? So at this point, you probably got some more memories because you're like in that 5-ish range. What's it like in Venezuela? What's the vibe?
Yeah, it was. Venezuela is very cool. There's no. I had it before Chavez, you know, so it's very peaceful. Opportunities. Very hot, obviously. There was black people. I got to see a lot of white people because when I was in Nigeria, I didn't see it a lot. So I got to see a lot of white people, Spanish people, and from there, I learned Spanish.
So you're already multilingual at the beginning points right away. Like just that's how your life starts with a bunch of languages being introduced. How many languages can you speak at this point?
I could speak officially three, like fluently: English, French, and Spanish.
Yo, that is fucking cool to me. So what kind of
Uh,
music is popping in Venezuela when you're like 5, 6? Are you like into the dancing vibes of it? Is it like, like
oh,
what's the energy
there,
like?
there's a lot of salsa merengue, but at that time, I found my love, which is Michael Jackson. Yeah, and my brother had the Dangerous album at that time, and I took it from him and I played it, and that's when I fell in love with music. That's when I really like I love Michael Jackson, and from there, I knew that like something that music's gonna do something in my life, you know. So
That's incredible. So you like from the time you were like super young, were able to identify because of Michael Jackson. What's crazy is you're like the 8th or ninth person to directly link Michael Jackson to an inspiration to like wanting to pursue music or becoming like completely in love with it over his music alone.
okay, yeah, I'm not surprised he's a legend, but it was more to live more. I really love Michael Jackson for his charity work. His music grew on me more and more and more, but I use it more as like what he did, what he meant, you know. Then from there, I started listening to his music.
That's so interesting. So basically, it's the idea of Michael Jackson was more impactful than Michael
Yes.
Jackson himself. And then because he was such a fascinating person, you were able to then delve into his catalog and become interested in his music. I don't think I've heard that before.
Yeah, because
That's super
obviously,
nifty. So,
yeah, like obviously I knew his hit songs at that time, but once I saw his artwork, I was like, who's this guy? And every time I had opportunity to hear something or see something with Michael Jackson, then I'll hear like and realize that this guy is an amazing person, and that love just continued, and I
mm.
use it like on my day to day, and he's part of my character.
And you got that from like when you were super young in Venezuela, introduced to him. So,
Yeah.
what ended up making y'all come to Montreal?
Um, let's just say my dad had to start over his life,
Mm.
and we had to start over, and we came as refugees, and we fought our way out, try to get things done and was not easy. And eventually, I was the one in 2018 that was able to, you know, live okay, if we could say that way.
Yo, that's big. So you basically, by the time you're like, let's say 10 or so, have gone from Nigeria to Venezuela. Then from Venezuela, you had to restart and go through the refugee process, like the to like get to Canada, and then integrate into Montreal. And then from that point on, it isn't even until you're like 18 that you get a sense of like stability.
Let's just say something like that, yeah. And it makes you humble. It makes you realize that you're a nobody, but you could become a somebody. And people don't realize how lucky they are. Just the fact that they're born in certain places. So when you're not born in those certain places and you're able to take advantage of them, you know that there's worse automatically because you've seen worse. So I'm very humbled every day to be in Canada, to be in North America.
Yeah, that's big. So like when you after Michael Jackson, when did you really start to like develop a more broad taste in music and start to really explore it more?
Um, well, in Montreal, like obviously, I grew up with in Point St. Charles, Little Burgundy, Saint Henry, and the Sheen. So there's a lot of different tastes. Um, let's just say like I love soca, I love reggae, Tupac, a lot of rap, especially Lil Wayne.
Mm.
Um, Also, I was a big fan of Usher. I used to really love all his songs at that time. But besides that, it was just 98% Michael Jackson. Like,
So basically, it was another question I would have then. So you get to Montreal, and you're not really from here. So how do you like get integrated into things? Do you end up having to go to French school then?
yeah, I had to go to French school because obviously my parents did not. Yeah, there's a rule that if your parents didn't go to English school in Canada, you have to, if you're in Quebec, you have to go to French school. So went to what we call classe d'accueil, and from there learned French. Since I already had the Spanish, French became easy. It took me like maybe 7 to 10 months to learn.
So you're able to you were able to assimilate a lot quicker than say somebody that had no foundation then. And so you end up going to French school here and going through all of that. At any point during this, are you like discovering your passion to like actually make music, or is it just like you're a fan or you're into consuming it?
No, at that time I'm into consuming it. I'm more of a, you know, we grew up in those areas I mentioned. Obviously, it was poverty stricken, and also not a lot of opportunities. So you basically fall into, you know, gangs and all that. So you're not really thinking about your art. You're thinking about surviving. You're thinking about what you can't get at home. You try to get in with your homeboys and the people you go to school with.
Right.
So I was more of that kind of person versus admitting to any creative opportunity from within.
Yeah, it's really big that you said that, Stills, because like here's why I say that. At this point in my life, I understand the significance of saying that that's where you grew up in those times, but I didn't know what that meant until like I was really a fully grown adult, right? Because there really is like a bit of a tale of two cities in Montreal sometimes, or probably more than two. But like I grew up in NDG, but didn't know what NDG was from the other side of NDG, because we just never went to the
DG?
parts. Yeah, like I grew up in Close St. Luc DG, right? I went to Wigger, and
Yeah.
didn't actually understand the significance of what was happening in a lot of neighborhoods, or at least what a lot of people's parents were involved with, or things like that, because of just the nature of things. My parents were just not there. Like, we were not involved in any of that. We went up this whole other side of life, and then I'm like, nah, Montreal. And then people are like, nah, bro, you don't understand. Back in the day, and broke it down. But, like, so even today, when we look at the, like, geographical landscape of it's, like, not at all like what it was. It's like a significantly improved, at least from what I understand it used to be like. So just to hear like you describe an environment in the same city that I grew up with that forced you to feel that way, where you had to push the creativity to the side, is pretty big to me, you know.
Yeah, and ironically, this is a creative city.
That's true, eh? But yeah, it's just it's incredible how many different, I guess, realities can be in the same spot, and that's kind of like why we really like doing this show, is because it helps everyone have a better sense of empathy to understand, like, say, where you come from. So now it's like when I see you posting stuff later on Facebook, like I understand so much more the depth behind it than I could have at that time. You know, like when we encountered each other in the past, it was like, because I didn't even know. I didn't even know that happened in my city at that time. So since then, you know, I don't know. I'm just grateful that you're willing to share all this. It's really cool of you.
No, I appreciate that. I hope it can inspire someone else too that's going through, that went through what I went through.
I think people, when they see it, will be inspired by you, because you're an inspiring person that's done a whole bunch of stuff since then. You know, like,
Yes, appreciate.
so let's say you get outside of high school, your life hits 18. What changes at that point?
Well, what changes at that point is that it's like obviously I'm not with my parents anymore. I'm in Canada, and all I know is that I gotta hustle, man. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing I gotta do is just hustle. I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. I don't really care what happens tomorrow. I gotta survive right now. You feel me? So like I said, I was not really allowed to do a couple of things. So I had to go to the streets. So at the same time, I'm developing as a man. Um, you know, making decisions, and each decision I'm making, I'm telling myself like, I want to pay for this when I'm 30 and more. So I gotta make sure that any decision I make, any crucial decision I make, is gonna be worth it. So having that fear made me take wise decisions, and from there, let's just say my mid 20s, I found out that I got art in me, and let's just say my lawyer told me that I had to showcase something to 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 win my immigration case, and she said, "Do
Whoa.
what you love doing."
So what do you mean by that? So you have it. I don't know how much you want to or can talk about it, but like that sounds like I don't know
Yeah,
anything
so
about the immigration system really in that regard, or what it's like to go through any of that.
yeah, let's just say I was fighting this case for throughout my whole life and experience in Canada, and in 2018 I was able to beat this case, and it was going on since 2016, and that's when I became Owo. It's not because I wanted to become an artist, to be honest with you. It was more because my lawyer told me to do what you love doing because you might get deported, you know? So I told myself, what do I love doing? And I love writing poems, and I love motivating people because motivating people motivates me.
So when did you
So,
start writing poetry?
well, I've been doing this poetry since like I say 4 or 5 years old.
Mm. So how did you get
Yeah.
into that? Like, what made you start writing poems at like 4 or 5 years old?
Let's just say loneliness. Um,
Okay.
since I didn't really grow up with my brothers and sisters, and when I was with them, we didn't really have that much communication. So my whole life, I've been more to myself. So, and obviously, I was into Michael Jackson and into music, and words just started coming out, and I didn't ignore them. I didn't see it as what people would call a poem. I just saw it as a way to just let myself go and, you know, create imagining friends and imagining situations, my own planet that's what I call writing. You know,
Yo, that's
so
really
I
cool though.
yeah, thanks.
Yeah, Seeb
So I
Dread
always
says
knew.
what's up.
Pardon me?
Seeb Dread says what's up.
Hey, what's up? What's up? How you doing? Yeah.
No, so that's cool. So you basically been writing poetry throughout your whole life and being creative like since time, like since the very beginning.
Yeah, since the very beginning, but I never like really showed anybody. Like it was really like just for me. Like I found it even corny most of the time. Then when you had I had when I had when you were told that you gotta do what you love doing and you got 6 months to do it, you really gotta ask yourself, what can you do for 12 hours every day for the rest of your life without feeling any sweat? And to me, it was writing poems and motivating people. Like I will not mind doing that for the rest of my life. So I showed my poems, and my friend was like, "That's what you call spoken words." So I googled what is spoken words. Then I saw YouTube, saw Williams. I was like, "Man, that's just like a pastor who's just rhyming. I could do that." Not to disrespect what spoken words is and all that, but based on my cultural background and the people I've been around, I could handle that kind of creativity with the poems I write. So I was like, all right, let's do this. And almost every show I was asking people, can you sign just to say that I was here? And so we developed
So how did you
a
get into performing it? So you Google what is spoken word. You're like, I could do this, and the next thing you know, you're at shows already. So how did you end up getting to the shows? Is there a big scene here for spoken word?
there's a big scene. Let's just say there's a improving scene. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, how did I get? That was your question. How did I start getting performances? I was invited to this. It was a Black History Month, and I was invited to perform. That was my first show, but my first ever performance was with at church,
Okay.
and I was already Owo. I was just contemplating how am I gonna perform, and it was Easter where we had like an acting a show for Easter, and the pastor told me to choose a passage, and I chose a passage, and he said, "Are you gonna perform it?" Because I told him that I was thinking about this old stuff, and he said, "Are you gonna perform it?" I was like, "What? Yeah, perform it." So I actually performed it, and that was the first time I ever performed spoken words. And from there, I was like, you know what? I could do this. I felt good, felt comfortable. And when I went to the Black History Month, people liked it. And from there, I look for offers. I get offers to perform it.
Yo, that's so cool. Like just that you. Well, I mean, to me, it is like. First of all, I think a lot of things are cool. So maybe my threshold for what's cool isn't like the greatest, but I love your story so far, and I love the fact that you just literally Googled it, and from Googling it, ended up performing at church, ended up performing at like things, and it just kept working out. And now I'm getting offers, and I just do them. I mean, there is a degree of fucking awesomeness to that, like simplicity of how you were able to just via self awareness identify what you could do. Like, yo, I know a lot of people that gun to their head ask what could you do for the rest of your life with no sweat, could never answer the question. And you were just like, okay, I got 6 months. To be fair, not many of us have probably faced 6 months to deportation. That's a big thing. And you get told, prove that I guess you have value, do what you love, etc. Go out there. And then you just do. You just run it. Like,
Yeah.
that is a pretty incredible thing. I just need to make sure that that is understood and stated. Um, so you get
Thanks.
in. So what does Owo mean?
It started with overwhelmed with opinion.
Mm.
Yeah. Then transitioned to one within one.
What does one within one mean? I
There's
mean,
a
if
you and me, and there's a me and you.
That is a super simple answer, but I like it.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
it's like a community move.
yeah. We're all one. So if you sacrifice a little bit, and I sacrifice a little bit, the world will be a better place.
That's really simple and beautiful too. I like it. I like how you can boil shit down like that. Like, yo, I would take like 17 sentences just to say the same thing. Um,
Uh,
but like, that's amazing. So you have this Owo Jones character that you've now built. You're spitting the poetries, and then what happens next is you evolve it.
what happens next is that while I was trying to with this case, um, I was with my one of my friends, Muriel Flaga, and we we developed a system where we could help artists um, try to work with their visuals, you know. And we did that. We tried it out for 2 years. During that time frame, I saw myself, I saw my clients as me. So after the 2 year experience, it gave me ideas and perspective of what it is to be an artist, the basis of starting to become an artist, start taking it seriously. So this is where I've been since there. I've been discovering myself and releasing music, poetry bit by bit, and
I mean,
just
you've done a whole bunch more. I mean, I can say straight up that you're one of the dudes that threw shows that I got to perform at. So I mean, you've definitely done more things than just the like how did like cause, and I say it like that because there was a period of the time where you're coming into it where the city's kind of like going through a weird transitionary phase, we can call it. And all I know is I haven't gone to that many jam rooms in my life to prep a show. And yet, when I interacted with you, there was a jam room, and then we went and did this show with this fucking like, it was like the song order was randomized. Was your like, how are we gonna deal with people bouncing out the fucking show early? I was like, that's like really impressive shit. I feel like you're glossing over some of the stuff that you've done in that 2 year period.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Thanks. Creating shows. Also, created a show that helped charities. Um, I did a little bit of, and I had a band, so I touched a little bit of music to just to understand what it is to be out there. And now I'm really sheltering myself while I'm improving, tweaking a couple of things. You know, so that's where I am right now in terms of my art.
Fair enough. Um, so like, I guess what so why you basically are working on videos. What exactly were you guys doing? Were you guys filming music videos for people or
Oh
visuals
no,
or?
we're basically helping artists from scratch. So if you want to become, we told us you want to become an artist, and you have the confidence, and you just need some guidance. We will take you from A to Z almost, you know. So it was to just experience how it is. I after 2 years got the knowledge and the experience to try to fix myself and go out there. Miro and Ashley, they got to continue with their own business. So everyone's doing good.
No, man, I'm just so fascinated by like what you did because like I don't even think people know that this kind of service exists, right? Like I guess it's artist development or at a more branding conceptual level. Like I'm just trying to better understand it because again, like one of the things I realized is people, at least in Montreal, aren't aware of what's in Montreal. So it's a lot of
Yeah.
people like kind of floating around trying to like figure stuff out. So like what does an artist development service actually do? Like what is the benefit of that for a person going through it?
When we were doing it, we were helping. I used to say, for you to really be honest with your craft, you know.
Okay.
So obviously the elements of a business, which is required for you to register your business, have a logo, um, but those are the basic things. But what we found that we stood out was that we actually help the client with their visuals. We paid a little bit more attention to the visuals. So that's why I noticed that a lot of artists in Montreal, including myself too, we need to make sure that we have visuals that are on point.
When you say visuals, you mean like music videos?
Music videos, your pictures,
Hmm,
just your image in general.
that's fair. Most of us probably don't think that long and hard on the visual side of our presentation, and it's probably more important than a lot of us care about. Because Instagram wouldn't be popping if visuals weren't that cool, or TikTok.
Yeah.
Like proofs in the pudding over there. So that's interesting that you did that. And then how did you get into just throwing shows?
Really just saying I need to throw a show. Um, find out what was the purpose of throwing a show, and if the purpose was worth it, um, just do it. Obviously, I'll ask a couple people that I've thrown shows before to give me a little advice, but it's just executing it, and from there you on your way, you're gonna find out what you need to do and what you shouldn't do.
So you just like approach this whole thing like you have an idea to go do something. You find out if it's really worth doing. You test it out, and then decide if you want to keep doing it or not.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
That's serious. So after a couple of years of being part of the artist development thing, when did you? Was that like 2016? You said, or around that time?
Yeah, it was from 2016 to 2018, late 2018.
Okay, so in 2018, what happens to make you decide to not want to be a part of this anymore?
Well, obviously, we're not gonna go in details because
Of
with
course, of
respect
course.
to
Yeah,
our
yeah.
clients. But let's just say that I had to really focus on my personal life, and sometimes being a what you say a coach or someone that's making sure that you're making you accountable, their personal life too gets affected. And I was new at this, so I had to be accountable for my own self too. And I was realizing that I was losing myself while helping others. So Miro and Ashley, they continue their own version of their own way of what we were doing, and from there it gave me the opportunity to focus on my personal life. It's been almost no, more than like this is my first time in my life where I'm actually actually take my own decisions. I don't have to wait on no one, depend on no one. So I'm just embracing it right now.
Yeah, that's big. So you were in Atlanta, you said, for a while, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh my gosh, yeah, oh my gosh, I was there for 5 months, almost 6 months.
How did you end up in Atlanta? Like,
Let's say I got family there.
okay.
Yeah, got family there. So went to go visit and to see what opportunities there.
And what's it like in Atlanta? Because, I mean, according to, like, everybody here, Atlanta's the mythical city of success and prosperity.
Uh, to be honest with you, Atlanta was well. Shout out to everyone I met in Atlanta. Atlanta was very beautiful. So much opportunities. Very true. You could just be walking, and I was just walking sometimes, and people would ask me, "Oh, you should be a model." Like, "Oh yeah, yeah." Here's my Instagram. You know, the Uber or the Lyft driver has a second has an Instagram and is a photographer. You know, so much opportunity. Very very much coming from someone from Montreal. This is like there's everyone anything you need, there's like 3, 4 people doing it, and which is very amazing. So any artist that would like to like save money on the creative fees, Atlanta is definitely a place to go.
So when you say save money, as in, like, these people are doing it for free, or is it just more affordable?
No, let's just say it's less expensive than what you be for what you get. Like you'd be surprised, like only that, okay. So very humble prices in Atlanta.
Interesting. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know how to compare it. I imagine the cost of living in Atlanta is extremely different than the cost of living in Montreal. Just in all aspects of life. Like, but I've been trying to figure out what's in Montreal. And I know that I've like had to really like dig through the crates of Montreal, so to speak, to start finding stuff. But there's things here. It's just not as easy as getting into an Uber, getting an offer for. But I do believe that with 4 million people, there's got to be an assortment, and I say for the greater Montreal area, that includes like Laval
Okay.
and shit. There's a lot of people. I just think it's disorganized, not so much that it doesn't exist. But it's interesting at how like available things can be. That is like a fascinating transition. What else is it like in Atlanta? Like most of us have never been there.
Um, Obviously, like the what got me very like surprising was people walking around with guns. The open carry law is like you see people with look at their waist and you see it, you know. So it's very surprising to me. Go to a barber shop, you see it. Um, the fascination for music, like a lot of people love music, like they really love music. It's really that part of their life, like everyone. You know?
Hmm.
Also, very beautiful city, very beautiful city. There's a lot of places, and everyone's on the road. Everyone's on the road.
What do you
Yeah.
mean?
Um, you wouldn't see no one like really walking. Everyone has a car. Everyone's busy. You know. Evening time, people will go. Their garage is open. Yeah, it's kind of like a lot of people live the same kind of life in Atlanta. When I notice, when we think about it.
Yeah, it's nifty. And it's just the idea that people don't walk as much. Like that's such a
Yeah,
different
it's
vibe.
crazy. Yeah, from a Montrealer, I was like, wow, man, damn, no one's walking. Like, wow, yeah. Even the downtown, like, no one's walking.
That's actually a cool observation. Um, so are there any modern artists that you like look up to that you feel like are totally worth like emulating in the way that they live or based on it? Because I mean, you have this experience as an artist developer, so your lens is going to be a little bit different than say the rest of us.
Like a current artist that I really like. Wow,
Well, it's more
I love a lot of
like
art.
from the who's worth emulating as like their business is on lock.
Oh, Akon.
Okay.
Akon is to me, he's someone that I would love to get signed by Akon. You know, I would love to do business with Akon. I love his career path. I love how he just was able to start from scratch and become such a great artist. You know, and businessman, obviously.
Isn't he building a city like right now?
Yeah,
Like
yeah. $6 billion worth of city brought electricity to a lot of places in Africa, a lot of cities in Africa. Signed a lot of Nigerian artists. So Akon is doing very well.
yeah, that's real cool. And it's true. He really is does like he disappeared to go save his fucking country. It's kind of what I got the impression of, or at least play his part in like really like he worked with governments and like top level people and like found the financing and just did it all. And because I believe his grandmother didn't have electricity in it or internet or something,
Yeah,
and it
we went
pissed
to
him
visit
off.
her.
That's
Yeah,
serious. That's a great role
yeah, it's
model.
great. Yeah. That's what I love. I love Africans, African boys' dream. You know, to come back and just give back. You know, and not just give the fish, but teach how to catch the fish. You know, bring all the instruments that's needed. You know, so that's one of our dreams. So Akon's a great role model.
So, what are you up to these days? Then, are you working on albums? Are you working on a bunch of music?
Oh, good question. I'm transitioning to pop, so definitely I'm making my kind of music, my music that makes me happy, my music that just showcases how I feel. So my first steps was like to really make sure that I could conquer this mind over the body when it comes to my diet. So I finally conquered it, and now we're just gonna do a couple of photo shoots and videos, and by the end of the year we should have something.
So basically, your plan is to go down the path of looking good and dropping that more pop vibe, is what I'm to take from that.
Yeah, just to showcase much more happiness. Because the past 3 4 years, I've been showcasing a lot of the darker side of Owo. And now I feel like it's time to showcase the happier side, which is like more who I am, right? Because I took the time to heal myself, took the time to, listen to myself, and you know.
Fair enough. I think that's big. Do you think that like the isolationism of 2020 had a part of transitioning to happier times inside of yourself?
Um, Everything is an influence, to be honest with you, but I find my experience in general. I'm always a happy person, but you know, I gotta be true to my art. And these years I've not been in the best mood ever, and now I'm just happier, and it makes sense now to showcase my happier side.
And so basically, your plan then is to go out there and pursue that. Do you have like stuff underway that you're already working on, or is it more just like a general sense of where you're going with it?
Both. So basically, if my lifestyle is happy, then obviously the art I want to create is gonna be happy. So definitely both.
And how do you feel about like the transition towards this virtual existence where stuff like Twitch is kind of popping in, and instead of just everything being in real life, there's now this virtual existence that's playing simultaneous to it all?
Um, Obviously, in the first year, I felt a little uncomfortable because I'm used to performing in the metro, in the streets. I'm used to having that human connection. That's why I find I thrive better. And obviously, not being able to have that connection as before made me feel like lose a little confidence in myself. But when you get to opportunities like yourself to be able to communicate, when you realize that you have a following and they interact with you, so you just have to adapt. And I'm starting to like it now.
That's dope. Um, so could you see yourself doing something like starting up a Twitch channel and going live and like doing your own thing to interact with people, like writing poetry live, or I don't know, whatever else you would do in terms of content?
Um, I would definitely take that in consideration. Just that you have to create time for that, right? And
Mm, that
it's
is
not
big
something
true.
I would love to do halfway. Something I would like to do like 100%. So it's always put on the table and see with time, right? So
That's super dope. Um, so I see that you've definitely been putting out a bunch of things recently. Well, I saw at the end of 2020 was I think the last I saw. Do you have any like upcoming singles or anything that's like lined up that we should be watching for?
within the next 1 or 2 months from now, I'm gonna close down the dates. I have a video, a spoken words video. That's how much I can say right now. That definitely behind the scenes we're working very hard with a couple of people, new people. But yeah.
So, when it comes to the Montreal scene, are there any people here that you in particular like, or their music you just vibe with?
There's a lot, and oh my God, if I name one or two, other people would be like, "Why you name me?"
Yeah,
But, but obviously, I mess with a lot of people, man. Obviously, I mess with K Goons. I mess with Nate. I have to mention the top for my hood. Um, Obviously, shout out to K Tronada, and everyone else. People are making moves in Montreal. You know.
yeah, I definitely think it's in a pretty optimistic state. What do you think? This one's from the comments. What do you think about the writing lyrics for other rappers?
Um, okay. obviously, like your artistic ego kicks in and says, oh, no, no, no. But at the same time, the business side and also the appreciation of that artist's fans, they might like it too. So I was 60-40. 60% I would do it, 40% no.
I love the honesty there, and it is a big battle that you face inside. Just the idea, or like, what if you write it and then you really like it, and now you have to give it to that guy because of some contract or whatever. That guy,
Yeah.
that's my biggest fear with that whole world. Um,
Hmm.
so is there anything else that you are up to, like passion-wise, things that people don't know about Owo Jones that you want to share? Because at the end of the day, a lot of this show is about getting people to see the person a bit behind the character.
Oh well, I one day want to become a street pastor. So I love motivating people. I love being around people. And some a lot of times I got people who message me that about questions about their life and how I could help them. So that's something I don't really mention. But yeah, if you guys who are watching, need someone to talk to, always message me. And yeah.
No, that's super fair. Um, I, at this point, honestly, I'm not sure if you have anything else that you would like to say to the people out there.
Well, you're not alive if you're not living to make a change. You know, don't be scared to start from scratch. Um, tomorrow was yesterday was today's tomorrow. So you just gotta keep grinding.
So I got another question for you. When did you connect with religion?
When did I connect with religion?
Yeah.
Um, I guess the better question would be when did I reconnect? Because when I was my whole life grew up in Christianity. Um, I started having beef with God when things were not falling my way, and I was struggling, and I found it was not fair. And my reconnection was, let's just say, they point a gun at you, and you think you're gonna die, and you tell yourself, you know what, believe or God or not, at least if I believe, there's a heaven, at least I'm going to heaven. And if it didn't exist, everyone else ain't going to heaven either. So I was been put in those situations, and I called God on those situations. So from there, I just be honest with myself and kept on being humble and remembering that when it was hard times, I called on God. So in good times, I'm just gonna keep calling on God too.
That's an incredible answer. That's like a serious moment to like reconnect with God, and like to take it that seriously though, and like to make changes, and like to inspire yourself in a sense to become the best version of yourself. Like I don't know, that's like a heroic way to approach life that not a lot of people are brave enough to do. And I say brave enough because it's hard. And then they even come on a camera and talk about it. That's not easy.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
guess I believe I'm here for a bigger purpose, right? So
nah, it's dope. We got another question from the chat. Who are your favorite spoken word artists?
um, I like Saul Williams. I like Prince EA. Mm, a couple of some Montreal artists. But besides that, I love me.
How did okay? Where is the spoken word like community here? Like, I was a little bit curious about it because my homegirl apparently does spoken word here and there, And I was like, wait, there's a spoken word community? And I was all flexing like, bro, I could like go write a fucking poem and spit that shit one time. And then I was trying to figure it out. And then I swear, COVID fucked that up for me. But I was gonna go to some event that was happening in April, just to like see if I could spoken word, which I felt like I could
Um,
do. But like,
well,
where is it at
yeah,
in the city?
that's a good question. I might be the wrong person to ask. I know it's weird to say, but I don't really know that much. I know there was a person, brother called Kim Dominic. He had like a group. There was a community that was doing accepting spoken words. So it's not a huge community. It's very very small.
Yo, I could see the spoken word community popping off in freaking virtual reality because of the low technological barrier. Music's complicated because we need beats. So it's like hard
Mhm.
to actually deal with that in that environment. But a spoken word, you just need a fucking headset and you could bust that out. I don't know, man. Would you be down for like pursuing things? And I know, given you have time, but like things like virtual, like fucking events for spoken word, like that would be the fucking latest.
Anything could be possible. Definitely. If we have the right amount of people, why not?
Yeah, I'm very into that idea. That is logistically so easy to pull off that you would be freaking surprised. I don't know all the spoken word poets, but yo, that could be set up in like 2 weeks type thing. That's how simple it is right now with the tech. Not even every people don't even need fucking VRs. It's just the environment exists and it's blessed. Um,
Definitely, we could talk about that. Definitely.
yeah, another one that's actually a good question that I forgot the other term existed, but what's the difference, I guess, between spoken word poetry and slam poetry?
I think it's the same thing
Mm.
because whenever I say I think a lot of people say slam. It's more like French people say slam because a lot of people say straight to slam. I don't hear a lot of people say slam in English. They say spoken words, but
Mm.
they refer to the same art.
Yo, I definitely think that's nifty. I know I've heard slam before. I never thought about it. I guess I took them as the same thing, but since we got the question, I figured I'd ask. So, do you prefer music or spoken word?
Ah, yeah, music,
Mm.
music, music. I see spoken words more of like all my spoken words are kind of like prayers, right? Like if you really listen to the ones that are out there, it's if you went to church, you see a little bit of
Yeah, I see
um,
that.
yeah. So that's those are my spoken words. Music is I get to because the way I do music differently than a lot of people. I get the idea, the melody in my head, then I add the spoken words, poetry to it. Then I go to beat maker, producer, and we put it to life. You know, because I don't really, I'm not that kind of person where you give me your beats and I just choose 12, two or three that I like. Nah, I have everything here and I go. So,
So you legit come up with all the melodies. Do you come up with the structure and everything? So you, like, write the whole song in your head?
yeah,
Yo, like, do you not know pen or anything? Just like compose it all in your head.
yeah, all in my head. And I hum it to the beat maker and he arranges it. We choose like, I know like the instrumental that I want and everything.
That's crazy
Yeah.
cool though. That is like not at all how I make music. I'm like way more of the yo, give me that beat that's already finished to the fullest. Like I want it to already have structure for me so I don't have to try as hard. And then I'll meet you in the middle, buddy. That's my whole approach. So it's like for you to actually say that and like be like, nah, I can just do this in my head and just compose like that's bigger because that's composition. Composition and songwriting are not the same thing. Like I fucking fancy myself a songwriter. Composer, I back the fuck up the conversation. I can do a 1-2 melody, but like, come on, that's like big to be able to come up with the beat and the fucking everything. But to do it in your head, that is some Michael Jackson shit. That's what Michael Jackson did. No shit.
Yeah, I got that. Yeah, I saw a video of him doing that, and I was like, wow. So these melodies in my head, I'm not crazy. This is actually music. Okay, So yeah,
That's so fucking cool. So like,
yeah.
how did you like go about making music? Then you would find like studios or
So basically, in the beginning, I was noticing that spoken words is not enough for me. Like I need more than melodies that were in my head since I was like 6, 7, 8 years old. Now it makes sense. So um, I knew that I'm not musically inclined, but I need to work with people who are really musically inclined. We cannot be two people who are not musically inclined in this realization of art, you know. So I realized that I have to go to a beat maker that knows what he's doing. So I went to one of the homies called Jason Kellner, and I sang him the song, hummed it to him. This is what I want. He would play things, and I'll tell him, no, it has to be like this. And since he's really, really musically inclined, he was able to understand what that he'll be able to understand what that means in the piano and all that. So from there, that gave me confidence because imagine something that you have in your head since you're like 12, 13 years old actually come to life. And it sounds like how you have it in your head. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you just feel alive. Like, yeah.
yo, that's actually like really, really like cool. I sort of get what you mean. I can't say I've gone that far with it, but yo, that like feeling of having a song come to life is powerful. But to go like that big with it, like half your life you're sitting there with this idea, and then all of a sudden it's like a thing. I've heard of him. That's fucking cool that you could just sit there while somebody like just does that. And I feel you with the musically inclined thing. If you put me in front of a piano, what the fuck am I gonna really do here? It's not my forte. I'm more of the vision side of it. But I also love how you described it as art. Like, this is an art project. Let's make the best art possible. Like, wow, what made you like? Can you elaborate on that more? Because that's an interesting perspective that a lot of people don't actually use that language when they describe their music.
Elaborate more on which part.
Like the idea of it being like an art thing. So I'm like this and that. Like, I don't know. I've never heard anyone just kind of like approach it like that.
Well, it's a lifestyle, So I I'm honest with my art. I'm honest with myself, So I'm not gonna say that when you meet me you could read me 100%, but I'm comfortable in my own skin. I'm getting more and more comfortable in my own skin, and I find I've been given this gift of being able to express um, segments of my lifestyle through art, So I really love this. If am I giving that? I think that's the question you asked me.
Nah, it's a good answer though. I mean, it's a hard question because it's like it's not like sometimes my questions are like, well, they're all just kind of what I'm curious about in that second. So it's like you said something that the way you described approaching the song, like, yo, I need somebody that knows music better than me.
Oh, and the song creating.
Or
Okay,
just
talk
like
about
the
this.
whole, but it was more like the philosophical side of it. So you kind of answered it in a way that it like did explain it for me. Like you're like, nah, it's a lifestyle. I got this life, and I want to express this life to achieve this goal. I got to get this guy who knows more than me about this, because in my head I got like this, and like you're like effectively an executive producer of this bigger like project, and you just figured
Yeah,
out the right way to bring it to life.
yeah. That's why I think I am. Yeah, I'm an executive producer on everything that I touch in regards to Owo. Um, that's why sometimes it takes a little longer to be able to release things because it's coming out of my own pocket and of my own resources. So But the more I grow, the more it becomes easier, the more I understand. So and I appreciate it more.
Yeah, I totally like the way you said that. Um, what kind of stuff do you think needs to change when you said live to create change?
What needs to change? Including myself too, but we need to hold ourselves much more accountable in um, various aspects of life, you know. And I'm not going to be the one who's going to tell you what aspects of life we should all change. But whatever, when we look in the mirror, whatever you find that, if you're honest, when you have the honest conversation with yourself, and whatever you think you could change, try it, you know.
Yeah, that's mad nifty. So basically, what you're saying is, we all need to focus a little bit more on focusing on ourselves.
Yeah, the improvement part, the side of us that could be improved to make the world a better place.
Yo, I like that a lot. Do you read a lot?
I read a lot. Let's just say I read a book every 3 4 months. You know, I got a book right here. And,
Yo,
yeah,
that's cool.
yeah. So yeah, I read.
I'm like fairly certain I've read something by James Baldwin in the last year. Maybe not, or it's on the list.
Yeah.
So that's fucking cool because I mean I'm a big reader. So believe it or
Oh,
not, most people aren't able to just bust out a book that they have in front of them. So I really like you said 3 4 books a year. That's stellar. That's excellent.
thanks.
I don't know if you know that. That's excellent. I don't care what the averages say, my guy, but like in terms of busy people, bro, busy people don't have a lot of time to read. So if you can still bang out 3 to 4 fucking books, find the mental energy to pull yourself together, that's incredible. And that's serious
Yeah,
reading. That's like not
thanks.
even lightweight.
How
Um,
about you?
Me, I am currently working on The Wealth of Nations by Adam
Oh,
Smith because that guy was like the cornerstone of modern economics. Whether or not it's good advice, a lot of our lives are impacted by this book. And I'm really into the idea of know the enemy. So you should probably like read the shit that like the people read because yo, modern economics is some fuckery, but I don't understand what it's based on. So like how can I even like understand it without like going back in time? I don't know.
and see.
I read a lot of nonfiction. At one point, I was like really fascinated with racism as a topic. So I read a lot on stuff like slavery or a lot of the 30s. The 30s and 40s isn't interesting, whether it's the KKK or individual cases like the Emmett Till book, just to like contextualize that part of life because it is so impactful. Like the 60s is whatever, but that's what led to the 60s and just the prison system and reformation and all these different topics to kind of add like I
Crazy.
don't know a better understand. I don't understand shit, but like a better understanding. Like at least try to like you know what? It made me realize why To Kill a Mockingbird's a bullshit book. Like that's where I
Okay.
got to because that book isn't very good. None of the ideas it puts forth are really good. It's like its intentions are really good, but the practical ideas it actually suggests are not very useful. They like didn't do a lot. So like I couldn't have gotten to those kinds of conclusions without the other readings. But anyway, and then I got to the economics book. But what are
And
your favorite books?
um, I got my all-time favorite, two all-time favorites. It's by the same author, Napoleon Hill. It's called the first one is Think and Grow Rich,
Mm.
and the other one is Outwitting the Devil.
What's that second one about?
Second one is Having a Conversation with the devil within.
Okay. So that like allows you to kind of create a sense of self-awareness or at least understanding who you are by facing the worst parts of yourself.
Yeah, yeah. It just said in a philosophical way.
Mm. And the same dude wrote both books?
Right?
You said the same guy wrote both books?
Yes, sir. Yeah,
So
Napoleon Hill.
how to deal with yourself and then how to make stacks. That's pretty powerful. That's like a good way to like completion into your life a little bit.
Yeah, balance, a little bit of both to balance your life.
Fair enough. So what else are you up to these days? Do you have any like other creative passions that you pursue outside of writing and music? Like are you into photography or just other, things?
Um, like I started a little bit into like self-modeling.
Okay.
What I mean by that is that like I just imagine myself in environments and I create my own photo shoot. I'm not gonna wait for someone to call me and say, "Oh, I have a photo shoot idea." Um, I have photo shoot ideas, and I'll just execute them with my team.
So you're like basically creating your own portfolio rather than waiting for people to give you the opportunity to create your own portfolio. But since you're doing it, it's going to be cooler.
Exactly. Well, I'm gonna have much more control, and yeah, I'll be able to do what I have in my mind.
Yeah, that's cool. I don't think I really talked to that many people that were like, I'm going to turn myself into a model and then I'm going to just do it. Like, that's a pretty bold ambition. I say, like, wow, like, I mean, really anybody can just do that, actually. Like, sure,
Yeah.
certain aesthetics will help certain things, but nah, there's like fetishes for fucking everything. So you can basically look like anything and do what Owo just did to varying degrees of success. Don't get me wrong. That's fucking cool. What are some of the like fashion set ideas you've had?
That I am having right now.
Yeah, like what can you share like with regards to like what you would do with a fashion or a photo shoot set?
What I'll do, how it works is that I'll have an idea of the environment. Then from there, I'll think about clothes that'll go with that environment. Then from there, I'll think about find a stylist. Then once I find a stylist, find the location with the stylist. Then from there, pick a photographer that you know that can deliver the kind of photo shoot that you want for this specific idea. So it's and we have obviously like a mood board. So it's like let's just say 45% already set, and we let the 55% on the spot.
Okay. So like have you always been interested in fashion?
Not like per se like interested like I obviously where I grew up in downtown Montreal, you had to have a little sense of swag, and obviously um the people I grew up with, so it was not my main focus per se, but I knew that when you dress a little swag, you get different kind of attention. So so yeah, so definitely something I'm really now more and more focusing on.
No, that's a good observation. I definitely have noticed that swag definitely helps get certain kinds of attention that are worth more money than others. And it's just kind of the reality of the situation.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, with the eyes. Whatever attract the eyes.
And it's not even like for sex or whatever. I'm just saying people in general, like
Hmm.
especially in art, like it's a lot more of a fashion show than I like to admit. I have to care more. So I was like, I don't always brush my hair as much or whatever, but until I'm on camera, and then it's like, oh shit, now that it's long, I have to worry about brushing it more and all this other shit, like. But if you don't,
Yeah.
you look like a fucking schlump, and then you're definitely somebody that's judging you for that and clicking off, 100%
Hmm.
every single time.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so basically, at this point, you've already dabbled in all kinds of stuff from performing You said you were performing in the metros, like you did the busking stuff.
Yeah.
What's that like?
How's that? That's I find it's one of the most humbling and best experience as a performer. Because I'll perform and I'll have people walk and not have any reaction, and I'll have people will have reactions. There's one time a lady she passed by and she just kept on looking back. She went all the way to the stairs, still staring at me. So I was peeping at my corner of my eye. You get to learn these new skills. Then she comes all the way back down and waits for me to finish the song. And I could tell in her eyes that like something was going on, like something that I and her could only understand, no one else could understand. And when I finished performing that song, she just told me like, "Thank you so much." The song reminds me a lot of my husband, and mind you, I was just singing original songs, my own songs. I don't do covers, and
Respect.
thanks. And she told me that, and obviously she gave me money, but it was just that reaction, those little reactions you get. It reminds you of what you're doing. So busking is a
Are there
I
like
see it as
are there
pardon me?
like rules to busking? Because the one time I looked into it, it seemed to say like if you have performing opportunities, you should probably not busk. That was what it like made me feel like when I went, at least at the STM, because like they have like the whole like program or whatever that they do. Like, are there rules
Yeah.
for it?
For the SDM, basically, there's like the main metros, like the big the dollar pay metros. Um, no, they removed that law. No, there's no law. All you gotta do is there's that sign, that musical sign, but the harps, like the instrument
Right.
harp, that sign. There's a paper that's hidden, and that paper is people's schedules, art performers' schedules. So they just say I go to Outwater Metro, and I see that next to the sign, I see the paper, and if I'm the first one, obviously at 5:30, I write 5:30, then people go. So every 30 minutes, to every 1 hour, you get to perform for. So usually the best metros will be where artists will line up like at 5:30, 5 a.m.
Like
in the
5:30 in the
metro.
morning.
Yeah, that's coming. 5:30 in the morning to write their names for 6 o'clock, for 8 o'clock, at a big metro because it does pay. I'm not gonna lie,
Yo,
busking pays.
probably pays better than I make doing a lot of other things with regards to
I can't
content.
lie. And I'll make what I would make in a day. I could make it in busking in 1 hour, 2 hours.
And are
Bad
you able
day,
to? So like you're able to sign up at more than one spot, or is it more like you have to go to the metro at 5:30 in the morning, or is there like a central metro
well,
place?
you just gotta know what your budget is, right? If you're trying to make, let's just say, like I don't want my busking people to get mad at me or whatever, but let's just say you want to make $200. You have to choose. You have four metros. You gotta choose. Gotta choose two ones that pay a lot, and two other ones that you might make $50 in 30 in an hour. So if you're doing four metros and that's 4 hours of work, you could easily make $200 or more in a day.
Yeah, that's serious. I can see why your busking friends don't want you to tell people like me that.
Yeah, it's a pain. Montreal, they pay. I just find it humbling because I don't have the greatest voice. I'm far away from having the greatest voice, and someone like me could just go ahead and metro and make a living off of that.
Yo, I never even thought about it. Like, I swear I always wanted to busk just because it looks fucking cool. And every now and again, there'd be somebody. It's possible it's fucking you. It's possible I just walked by you at Snowden and you were the guy that was just rapping, doing a thing over at fucking the Metro.
Oh.
But, like, I
No,
know.
yeah, I perform at Fronin.
I'm like 90% certain in hindsight it was you. And then I think about it. But
Oh,
then,
for real?
yeah, dude, I used to be at Snowden like every day, 5:30 p.m. ish, time of day. If you ever did like the 5 to 6
Yeah,
slot at Snowden,
yeah,
100% up until I got my cycle on, I passed butter. I've seen Jay Uno a bunch. So like me and Jay Uno used to
yeah.
do
That's what him I
Island.
was performing with.
No shit, then I
I
have
performed.
100%. I've seen you performing with Jay Uno because like
Oh,
I mean I know Jay Uno, but like yeah, I should fucking hit him up to do one of these. Anyway, but yeah, like so I know Jay Uno because from back in the day he used to perform at Crowbar on their like Wednesday
oh,
night jam sessions. So I have this vivid memory of like busting in one time because it was like a open mic jam session, but they would let you freestyle. So like I came through and I'm like I can freestyle with the saxophone. No shit. So I did. It was one of the coolest fucking nights. I will never forget it for like the rest of my life. I have not really performed with anybody else that played a sax except for Jay Uno like that one time in that like tiny bar to like 12 people. Great night.
yeah, yeah. Shout out to Jay Uno, man. That's my man. That's my man. We grew up in the same hood, you know. So yeah,
He's
Jay
extremely
Uno.
talented. He dropped this fucking
Yeah.
contest entry thing for my shits, and he had this like watch what you say, like laws of attraction bar, like speak it into existence, like you're a money magnet thing. I'm like, bro, that is like that's nice. Like everything he said was just so fucking profound. I fucks with Jay Uno heavy. Like I haven't talked to him much, but he's one of my favorite people in Montreal. I swear. Just at least
I
how he
fucks with
puts
him too.
himself into the world.
Yeah, I spoke to him I think last week. Yeah, he's doing good.
That's blessed. So you and Jay Uno, yo, the busking game sounds nifty. I don't think I would do it a lot. I might try it one time, but I don't think I'd do it a lot. Just on some. I like the Twitch game a lot. Yo, but you could busk on Twitch.
I could.
Yo, bro, I'm telling you, that's like okay. So I'm like, I was being a little salty because I was in a salty mood. Sometimes you just get a little salty. But like, my girlfriend is sitting there for 4.5 hours watching this fucking guy who used to work at Disney play piano and sing other people's songs. And I was like bamboozled by this because, you know, you make original music, this and that, and you get caught up in your feelings sometimes.
Uh-huh.
But it made me realize, like, you can just do it with original music and people will still fucking come. Like, it doesn't have to be covers. She just happened to like that one. But, like, yo, basically, you lock into a Twitch. Logistically, technologically, it's way easier than you might think. And then you just do the busking thing to the internet, and technically, there's a built-in donation system. As in, you achieve a certain threshold, you get what they call affiliate, and then people can subscribe to you at like a monetary way, and they can donate bits, which is like pennies. It's like they throw pennies at the strip club is my like metaphor for it. And
Uh-huh.
it's lit though. Like you watch guys like Pre-Chancobia, he's on Twitch a lot. He's a huge reason why I'm on Twitch actually. As I spoke with him, and
Oh,
he saw what I was doing, and he called me up and told me, "Fuck your YouTube, go on Twitch." That I don't know if you ever spoke to Preach when he gets passionate, but like he gets
uh-huh.
in. Next thing you know, I'm on Twitch, and he's right. Like at a fiscal level, I've done way better on Twitch. With a bad month on Twitch is better than my good month on YouTube.
For real?
Yo, YouTube's garbage. People are chasing this YouTube dollar because they don't know how bad the YouTube dollar is. It's not a good dollar. It's like an okay, like if you're getting 5-figure views religiously, I bet YouTube's a better dollar than what I get. But like with the view counts we all get over here, I'm just telling you, YouTube's like you'll get 2 payouts a year if you're lucky, as in $100 payouts a year. I'm not legally allowed to tell you what I do with YouTube on some fuck just in case, because there's like you can't say specific numbers, but you can be vague enough. You get like I can get about 2 payouts a year, maybe 3 in a good year. But that's where it's at. It's like 2 to 300. That's it. That's YouTube. That's all I get, and I got 500,000 views.
Shit.
Let's say
And Twitch is way more.
Twitch has the direct donation, so Twitch also has built into it Amazon Prime subscription model thing. So because it's owned by Amazon, if I have Prime, I could go to the Owo Jones channel and give you a free sub. So every month I get one free subscription. Now a subscription on Twitch is not like YouTube. It's money. A follow on YouTube is like Twitch a follow on Twitch is like for YouTube. So you hit follow, that's like the account. Subscription is a money thing. So when people subscribe to you, they also unlock the ability to get your custom emotes, which are like emojis. So you can upload a Owo face or your brand or whatever. I have my girlfriend, this Montreal love one, etc., etc. So you upload it. It all makes sense for your channel. But if I have Amazon Prime, I can come do this for you. And if I subscribe, you get $250 USD. And so if you got a bunch of people with Amazon Prime, in theory, you can now get a bunch of X amount for free a month just on some basic hustle shit. I'm not really that kind of person, so I feel guilty and annoying when I go harass people for that shit. But like in theory, you could probably pull $200-$300 a month on Twitch just off of that, plus whatever you can pull organic on like building up your fan base. Then if you're at like a T-Pain level, it's probably like $1,000 a stream. Like if you look at what T-Pain gets and just numbers of subscriptions, he's probably pulling to a point where like each stream's $500 to $1,000, no lie. That's not like everybody, but it's attainable.
Damn. Are you guys get on Twitch like this?
Yo, and plus you can just do shit like, yo, me and this dude Meyer Clarity went live and basically learned how to make NFTs on a stream, and I had 7 people the whole time. It was fucking crazy how little, like, when I say how little you do, but like you obviously have to like, you know what you're doing a bit in terms of talking. Yeah. But like if you want to motivate people, you could literally just do motivation time with fucking Owo Jones and just go live for like 2 hours and just talk to people.
Was it something that you do every day or every week?
Yeah, I go live 6 times a week. No lie. I swear. I do like 3 of these interviews a week. Plus on Tuesdays we have a cypher where we just lay down beats, all Montreal beats, and then people with freestyles. And then the Twitch chat can pick topics. So like yesterday, Vince Price was like, your favorite movies. Or Golden Jenny was like, golden taste. And we're like, the fuck does golden taste mean? Nobody knows, but you roll with it because it's a freestyle cipher. And then I started writing music live on Twitch. I said, why not? So I wrote like a whole project on Twitch live to the audience. I'm going to re-record it off cam for the sake of I have to redo it in time efficiency and whatever. But for the most part, I just kind of want to record my music and write it all live to the audience. Like, why not? I think it's like the Golden Jenny's here. She's from Norway. Golden Jenny from Norway. She's literally in
Jenny?
Yeah, Golden Jenny. She's watching. She's from Norway. Like you get that kind of stuff. Yo, and then OnlyFans too. Fuck, I don't know if you've seen the ads, but OnlyFans is trying to remind people that they're for more than porn stars. So I'm getting these DJs come to OnlyFans ads and shit. So with that, there's also just Patreon and shit. Like there's so many cool things on the internet right now. Yeah. Twitch is blessed. It's like, think talk radio, think music creation, think like if YouTube was live and sloppy, that's what Twitch is. Live sloppy YouTube. Whereas like YouTube is more polished and pristine. People come to Twitch for more of that like raw organic experience. You might
see what you're doing.
I like the community too. Also, like, it's not gamer Twitch. I don't know. Gamer Twitch is fucking weird. I'm not 100% into that culture. It's its own thing, and I don't understand it. But music Twitch, yo, bro, I love music Twitch. Everywhere you go, it's like awesome people. It is like the opposite of everything you've ever experienced with the internet. I've encountered virtually no haters or no fucking trolls. It's just people are cool. I've never had that like to the level. Oh, and there's raids. There's this whole built-in culture of like networking. So take this dude DJ Overflow who's fucking around with the coordination of Under Pressure this year. One day he appears on I think the Under Pressure Twitch. So we discover he's there because my homeboy Ishmael, who's just like the most dope fan dude ever. He's also from Montreal. He tells me, yo, go to the Under Pressure stream. So I take my audience, like we're going to do that at the end of this stream. I take my audience and we hit up the next channel and we raid them. So we all invade. And now my audience that was live is watching this person stream. So they get a boost. And then what the DJs have figured out, I'm trying to explain to the rappers. The DJs have figured out is if you like take 10 a.m. to like midnight and you fill that with a bunch of people, you carry an audience throughout the day and you get like this collaborative fucking win, international, fucking everywhere. Not as easy to explain to the rappers. But like slowly we're getting there, and I feel like there's a lot of, it is not the same real life connection that you like you were describing, but like watching a bunch of people crack the fuck up on a Zoom call is still pretty good. You know, like there's still like a connection there more than it's not. So it got me realizing that like in these times where, let's be real, it's not going to just be simple to just go throw a show at a bar and expect people to show up. It's not just going to get any easier for us. It might be easier for a lot of other people, but I think for the bulk of us, we're going to discover that the situation didn't change a lot. This Twitch version, where legit you can rap on beat and stream that to an audience, boom, 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 sing, whatever. Like, we could do this, like, raid train shit, and then I bring my audience to you, you bring your audience to the next person. And, yo, like, let's be real, all of us from our own homes, just doing a 30-minute, we could fucking do 7 of these in a day if we were all to organize and coordinate at that level. Like, there's so much potential with Twitch. It's just way more agile than real life.
Yeah. I see what you mean. Being able to be at different places and for a whole 10 to 8, oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's all like hypotheticals that I have the foundation of the DJs to work with, but it's also what Twitch wants. Like Twitch just wants this. They're competing heavy, and they decided to be cool with music. They're not cool with gaming. Gaming's weird, but yo, like they did that copyright strike, Armageddon thing, but none of the DJs got hit. Weird, eh? None of the DJs got hit. It was just gamers. So all the DJs are still playing illegal music all the fucking time, day in, day out. Yo, we do it all the time. We play your music. I don't give a fuck. After this is done, they're going to mute some shit. Nobody's watching that. They're going to skip ahead to the interview. So this part's all good in the hood. Anything of value is all good. People are there for the live on Twitch, so they let the copyright roll through. You could legit just do reaction videos like it's 2014 on YouTube.
Shit, that'd be crazy.
It's a wild
reaction
time.
Videos?
Sorry?
I said reaction videos?
Yeah, like it's not my cup of tea. Like I don't like making them, but you can do it on Twitch now in like a way that like you don't even have to fucking try and edit it. Just go live, watch other people's. Like, yo, if you go watch the beginning part of this stream, you're gonna watch me sitting there like for like fucking the whole thing of your song. I don't even like say a word because nobody was talking to me. Yeah, people talk to me, I talk back, but otherwise you're just watching people's fucking like. Those are the lazy parts of my stream. I feel like I'm protected because it's to promote this interview, fair use bullshit. You know, like, but like, in theory, yeah, Twitch is in a very lenient place that it might not be in next year.
Hey, take advantage now.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm not really sure what else to ask you at this point. I feel like everything is kind of like, you've managed to boil things down into the most simple essence of it, which I find highly impressive, but also makes it hard to dive deep when you're like, bro, you just break it down into the parts, put it together, and make sure it makes sense. And I'm like, that's the most complete fucking answer ever. Every fucking time.
Well, obviously, like, you know, talk is cheap. At the end of the day, I gotta do it. You know, it's a ongoing process. You know, this artistry it's not overnight. It's like an oven. You know, it's like making food. It's not frying food. So I'm not perfect. And the cool thing is that especially those who follow me on Facebook, you know, you realize that eventually you realize that I'm just talking to myself. You know,
Mm.
most of the time it's I'll be posting things, and at the end of the day, I'll just look at the post and be like, oh yeah, what was I thinking at this time? Why? I was just evaluating myself, and just find it funny when people react to these things, and makes me realize that I'm not alone feeling these things. But every day is a opportunity to learn and improve.
Like, man, it's just beautifully put, concise, clear. The metaphor made sense. It's like really well done. Like your entire life is like living poetry. I like your mind a lot. I
Yeah,
think you're
appreciate it.
like a wonderful force, and a lot of the things you put into the world, like they probably planted seeds that have grown into things today that maybe you didn't know back in the day had the impact that they would end up having later on in life. Like in the way the world's connected, I'm not here today talking to you if you weren't like doing that show that one time. Like it's just the
Yeah.
facts of a
Thanks.
situation. I did that before this, and therefore it led me to this moment. And I know other people have at least one other person who's doing some interesting things today basically say you played a role in their life and it was impactful. So it's like, that's big. Not everyone
And
can
we
actually
all
walk away with that. Yeah, no, so that's just really cool. So I just wanted to make sure you got your flowers for that, and that you knew that you have had impact, and that as you continue to do more things, you will continue to have impact, and that people respect you. It's fucking
I
cool.
appreciate it. I appreciate it. And you too, keep grinding. Obviously, it's the beginning, and with time, your show is going to become really big. Um, especially the way you ask questions is very different, and it makes people want to answer. So
I
appreciate it.
just I'm curious. Like if we were hanging out legit, it's more or less what it is, right? We just talk, like. And I learned that people care a lot more about people than they care about the things that we do. Like they care more that we do things than they care about the things that we do. And I see a lot of us get like really almost offended at that idea. And I'm like, wait, they think we're interesting. Like that's not like the worst thing in the world to have happen.
Yeah,
Um,
sorry.
no worries at all. But yeah, with that, it's great to. I'm not worried about me, man. I get to have conversations like this a bunch of times a week. In times like this, like if anything, I just feel more charged up and inspired than I've ever been. And this is just the beginning of a lot of other things that would never have happened if I wasn't sitting here doing this. And it just kind of unlocked doors. So I'm just grateful. Like I'm grateful that somehow I've managed to, for over 6 months, maintain this like 3 to 4 a week schedule. It just has worked out with very few
Nice.
cancellations. Like 95% of them have just gone as they should have, and that's like such a gift. How does that happen in life?
Hmm?
So like,
Hey, can avoid destiny. You know?
so I feel like it's just cool, and there's a lot of support for it, and people like you coming through and sharing your story adds to the volume of cataloging Montreal and showing that it's like a real thing with a lot of contributors. So once we can add perspective, I see like a brighter future for all of us. But yo, thank you for being here for real. Thank y'all for like watching too. We appreciate you. Those on the live that are always sticking it through. It's always just amazing that you do this. Thank y'all in the future watching this for real, cause I mean
Oh,
it's also
that's
dope
kind
for that. And make sure to follow, subscribe, like all those good things. Definitely special thanks to the patrons: Ismail Gadamsi, Chris Power, Jonathan Barnes, DJ Black Hurricane, Linda Williams, Scribble, the top, support what we do, all that good stuff. If you want to support what we do, patreon.com/behind that suit. On that note, I feel like you're a little frozen up with us, but I don't know, we can still hear you. I hope you can still hear us. I definitely appreciate having you here again with us, Mr. Owo Jones. Thank you all again for doing this, for being here with us. I'm going to start the raid, and I'm going to leave it with that live long and prosper.